over the last 10 years, it was the Trump election and the aftermath, where I feel like in retrospect, I deferred too much to the kind of critique of the media on what we should do. These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse. And they're like, and basically it just got to this point where we were like, no, we're not gonna take down things that are true. That's ridiculous.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Hey everyone, I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice, but a lot has happened over the last several years. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, and we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed, so we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it. The bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people a voice.
Okay, first of all, let's keep this shit a stack. Mark Zuckerberg is full of shit. He didn't invent Facebook for social media to keep people in touch with each other. He's a fucking proxy. He's a fucking fall guy. He's a figurehead for a surveillance operation. He invented social media so every fucking citizen will have a fucking dossier on them. That's what social media is really for. Let's just keep it real, first off. So that's the first thing about Zuckerberg. He's full of shit, right? I hope people realize that down at Meta, 2 of the top executives are former CIA employees. Go look it up.
Oh yeah, well Joe, Snowden already showed us that they already had a back door to Facebook.
Yeah.
It's actually all the social media. Yeah, you're basically an intel agent on yourself right now. Like,
yep.
You handed over. You basically, by accepting their terms and agreements, forego all your privacy rights.
Yeah, right down to what you eat. Because every time you take one of these goofy hoes out, they taking a picture of their food like broke people.
Mm-hmm.
So
the NSA, by putting an agent or a team on you, could not do a better job than you actually cataloging an electronic dossier on yourself for public consumption. So no, touch on what you touched on the stream with regard to the congressional oversight and the yeah, touch on that.
Well, this is kind of understand this. This is not Zuckerberg acting like he relieved that the Trump administration is coming to his rescue and nothing like that. Nah, this is a rat run off of a sinking ship. Either way it goes, Zuckerberg was gonna have to face up to questions about if it would have been a Democratic administration in there, they might have had an antitrust suit against him, and either way it goes, he was probably gonna face some type of audit of Section 230 of the Decency and Communications Act, because Facebook frequently editorializes content just like a TV station will make them fully taxable, whereas the government has them classified now as like a neutral utility, like a newspaper. You know what I'm saying? Or like a Trading Times or something like that. They don't editorialize commentary. They're seen as the new public square. So this is like some rats off of a sinking ship shit. He's already been up in front of the Senate and got his asshole reamed out by Josh Hawley, if you don't remember.
Yeah.
But he was gonna face a lot of scrutiny about Section 230, and I think that that's mainly what this is aimed at, is at preserving his company. I don't see him doing this out of any type of altruistic impulses that he's having right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I believe what he said about Biden's administration bullying him into doing things? Yes. He might be exaggerating it a little bit, but yes. And understand this. So obsessive was the Biden administration about what was going on online, is that before Elon Musk bought out Twitter, they was actually going and deleting and blocking individual tweets. So they actually had somebody in the White House transition team sitting there on a computer or on a phone or on a tablet, looking at Twitter, looking at Instagram, looking at Facebook, so they can call them and tell them exactly what tweets or whatever that they need to block or delete for the day.
Well played. Saul, you want to take the first half of the video clip, just Zuckerberg's statement and complete about face regarding censorship on his platform?
Bro, y'all know when them hostages be looking like a grainy video with Taliban and caught somebody and they got to do a damn confession or submission? That's how Zuckerberg was looking, like he didn't want to do the video, but he had to confess.
Niggas treating us well.
Exactly. You know, after they done whooped his ass, you know what I mean? Right? Zuckerberg, he's an opportunist. He's a fake. You see that the tide is changing. He tried if I'm not mistaken, during this whole situation where there was the censorship committee and the weaponization on American people, he was one of the people who didn't even want to testify. You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, you seen what the boy said he said that him and his wife interfered and put money and went down to where? Fulton County. Who was in Fulton County?
Black folks.
And who else is in Fulton County? Fannie fucking Willis.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got his hand in that indictment against Trump.
Yeah. See, you know, solid.
That's why he really down there, because Fannie done got the boot. Her case done fell apart, but he helped finance that. That's what the boy said after that. The media feedback on that. But go ahead. That's all you. I stepped on your time.
Yeah. Sidebar, man. For y'all who's into music, I want y'all to look up a picture of Paul Newcastle because this fool look like him. But getting back, that's what Zuckerberg looks like. You know, like a Napoleon Dynamite.
He do look like Napoleon Dynamite.
But the whole point is this: at the end of the day, you know, he's an opportunist and he's doing what benefits him. You know, he's taking a cold bow face, and yeah, you might have somebody calling you and knocking at your doors and stuff like that. But here's one thing about proprietary software, being an algorithm with AI, that stuff isn't open. And when you have people creating these sorts of programs, you know, for AI, they can put in there what are undesirable terms, undesirable sentiments, undesirable such and such. The White House ain't going that far. You know what I'm saying? It's him doing it. So, you know, you might have some little liberal programmer, as, you know, Tito and I have pointed out, you know, from the bastion of liberalism, your Berkeleys, your UCLAs, your USCs, your Caltechs, your MITs, and so forth, with their own views and stuff like that, baking into the cake what should talk about and what people should not talk about. You can say nigga every damn day. In fact, you can put gang stuff up there. You can threaten people and stuff like that, especially when it's black on black. And the minute you mention anything about any small hats, the minute you mention anything about, you know, black women, weight, anything like that, the said the other day, the beer, you know, drinking the beer. You if you follow me, you all follow me there. You know, that Mexican beer. Then you're censored, you know. And as you can see before you, man, because of our efforts, we have one of the most successful techpreneurs of our time actually kicked in front of Trump, but even us by proxy. That's a powerful thing. We got tech companies using their platforms scared. I want that to register to you. For pennies on the dollar, don't underestimate the might of the Sonic Army. I'm serious. I land my plane there.
Well played. So let's circle back on that. And Tito, what's your take on the second half of the clip with the mainstream media's melting down? One, over him actually taking the trip to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring, and then second, this mea culpa with regard to censorship on his platform. I think it's a predictable response, and what's motivating it is still pushing the Democratic propaganda hardline, but as well, them losing their foothold in control of the information that's being disseminated by the mainstream media and their ability to silence all detractors. What say you, sir?
Well, you know, clearly they don't understand the realities of running a business sometimes, which is part of the pragmatism of him going down there to Mar-a-Lago. They don't understand that because they just get to sit on CNN and give horrendous takes all day and get paid millions of dollars for doing it. But the worst part of that montage is the next part. The worst part of that montage is the breathtaking hypocrisy of two so-called black women talking about why should bigots have a platform when we got women out here, we got so-called black females out here sitting on panels begging white men, inciting white men to violence against so-called black men. When we got one of the biggest, most famous content creators that got wrote up in Rolling fucking Stone magazine advocating sex-specific abortion against black boys. when we got people going and terrorizing interracial couples pages that's led by a black man, or they pictures, or writing endless think pieces about athletes proposing to non-black women, they actually have the fucking unmitigated gall to talk about bigots having a platform when the whole entire worldwide fucking web has been their platform since at least 2010. Like, that's the type of hypocrisy that makes people hate you. That's like Marie Antoinette French Revolution level hypocrisy. It is.
My nigga.
So, what say you, sir, on the media meltdown regarding this about face by Mr. Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, it's just sort of level of audacity and dependency and, continued white proximity. You know, you're just going to use moral and morality and shaming as guilt. And as you can see, don't nobody care about your pleas and your tears. You know, people talk about white tears. What about black women tears? How about that? And all that bitching and whining and stuff like that. You see, once they blow their nose and toss you aside as the tissue trash you are, and they done with you as far as an agenda goes, you know, nobody fucking cares. You know what I mean? You just two fat bitches yapping at the mouth with nothing to do. You don't create your own social media stuff. I mean, you would think that the most educated and the most achieved and accomplished would be able to do that shit. But no, they sitting up here complaining about somebody else's apparatus. Create your own. You know what I mean? And pretty much that's all I got to say about that. I land my plane there. Oh yeah, they in there roasting the fuck out of.
Yeah, with the Paul Hardcastle shit. That shit is hilarious.
Yo, you should jumbotron his ass, bro. With that Paul Hardcastle. He do look, man,
like that shit is hilarious. Yeah, they've been going. Yeah, ever since you said the joint the band, they've been Paul Hardcastle in him left and right. David Fiddle said, "Yeah, on the Rainbow Forest couple." He said, "All right, guys. Bet we're at the 1 hour 20-minute mark. We got a full chat. Thank you very much, and thank you guys for supporting the stream. Let's do it, man. As you know, LA is on fire, and Hoop can't be with us this evening because incident with the fire as well. I know you guys all seen the cover.
I feel like it's only the bigots that were constrained with their hate speech, with their speech restriction, because. And I don't know why the bigots need a platform.
For me, this is all about credibility, and the Zuckerbergs and crew, the billionaire bros, what the hell they're calling themselves, lost it a long time ago. And the reality of it is the capitulation, the changing up how they platform their social media just tells us how credible they are, and they're not. I mean, facts don't matter now. And that's very clear because you've got an incoming president who lies and who will continue to lie. And they don't want to be in a position where they have to fact check that.
Mark Zuckerberg did this because he knows y'all are not closing the Instagram accounts.
Right.
We might not be on Facebook, but we're using Instagram. He's not going to see the backlash in terms of people leaving the platform. And that's a reality.
Trying to figure out what this could possibly look like. And The Intercept got some leaked meta rules. Here are some examples of newly permissible speech on Facebook and Instagram that are highlighted in their training materials. I actually don't want to read any of these things because they're all so awful, but they're about immigrants, they're about the gay community, they're about the trans community, and if all of those things, yes.
Oh my God, they're too awful to get out of my mouth. This is for the bigots. This is for the bigots and the people who hate other people.
Stop the cap.